Okay, so I think the last part will be talking about the role of analogy in scientific thinking. 那 analogy 在这它其实就是我们讲的类比思考的部分。Okay, so let's check what the author is talking about for the analogy thinking. So I think the author says that one of the most widely mentioned reasoning process used in science is analogy. Okay, so it is widely used, means that everybody will use analogy to talk about science. So scientists will use analogies to form a bridge. Bridge means 桥梁嘛, between A and B. So what is the bridge between? A is for what they already know, and is for what they are trying to explain, understand, and discover. Okay, so I think the analogy the author says here is that scientists already know something, right? So you need to form a bridge. You need to form a bridge between what you already know and what you are trying to explain, or what you are trying to understand and discover. So this is for discover. So this is for analogy in science. Okay, from what you already know to what you want to explain, understand, and discover. So here will be a bridge between A and B. Okay, so in fact, many scientists have claimed that the use of certain analogies was instrumental in their making a scientific discovery, and almost all scientific autobiographies and biographies feature an important analogy that is discussed in depth. It means that for scientists, they really use a lot of analogies in their discovery, in their scientific discovery findings. Okay. So coupled with that is this there has been enormous research program on analogical thinking and reasoning. So we now have a number of models and theories of analogical reasoning that show exactly how analogy can play a role in scientific discovery. So I think a lot of the authors here a lot of the authors do the research regarding how the scientists use the analogies in their scientific findings. 好，所以这边讲到的，也就是说呢，就是 analogical reasoning 或者是 analogical thinking， 就是类比思考跟推理，其实在科学上就是很常被发现。所以刚刚他这边有讲到，不论是你去读科学家的自传或者是传记的话，其实你会发现说，就是很大的一部分会讨论到科学家怎么去用怎么去用类比思考跟推理。Okay, so I think the main point is here. So traditional accounts of analogy distinguish between two components and of analogical reasoning. So it means that now we are going to talk about two components in analogical thinking. So the first one is target and the second one is source. So let's check what is target and what is source. Okay, so here the author says that the target is the concept or problems that a scientist attempting to explain or solve. So do you remember we just draw a picture for the bridge here? So where should be the target for? Because the author says the target is what the scientists want to explain, right? So the target will be here. The thing that the scientists want to explain will be the target. So what will be the source? The source will be that another piece of knowledge. It means that what we already know. And we can use this piece of knowledge to understand the target and also to explain the target to others. Okay, so here will be the source and we can use the source to explain the target. Okay, this will be the analogical reasoning. Okay, so here we use the source to explain the target and we call it the analogical reasoning. So what the scientist does when he or she makes an analogy to map features of the source onto the features of the target. So the scientist need to find the features of the source. Okay, the scientists need to find the features of the source. So you need to map the features. 就是它的特征，它的特色。You need to map the features of the source to the target. 你要把 source 的特征 map 到 target 上面，这个就是去做类比思考跟推理。So by mapping the features of the source onto the target, new features of the target may be discovered, or the features of the target can be rearranged so that a new concept is involved and a scientific discovery is made. So when you use the feature of the source to map to the target, it means that we can find the new features, okay? Because originally the features belong to the source. But when you map the features of the source to the target, it means that the features of the target will be rearranged, 重新整理, or the new concept will be involved. Okay, and maybe the new features of the target may be discovered. So this is how the scientific discovery is made. 那这个过程我们就叫它是 scientific discovery. 也就是说，原本你会将 source 的特征拿去 map 到 target 上面，所以当你的目标物有了这些特征之后，你就可以发现说，可能会有一些，就是这个会是属于这个目标物的新特征。OK， 那在这样子的过程中，就是会有一些新的概念会被发明，或者是呢，就是你的特征呢，就是可以被重新整理。那这样子的话呢，其实就是一个科学发现，就他这边讲 scientific discovery 的过程，这样可以吗 ？Okay, so now I think we are going to check what is the common analogies here. Is that okay for you? So now I think the author explained very clearly. Before the author's talking about the source and target, he just used the word, what you already know, and you need to make a bridge between what you already know to what you want to explain, you want to understand, and you want to discover. I think it's like when you want to explain something to someone who is not familiar with the phenomena, you may use an analogy to make the bridge for him. OK， 所以其实像类比思考的话，当你今天有想要解释，或者是你有一些新的发现，你想要解释给别人听的时候，其实你在做的就是类比推论跟思考，因为那个人对这样子的解释并不熟悉，所以你必须从他已知的东西去帮他搭建一个桥梁，然后让他去做解释。那已知的这一个，像刚刚讲，我们就说它叫做 source， 所以你要把 source 已知的这些特征呢 features 去 map 到 target 上面，这样 OK 吗？好 ，So I think this is the what is the analogical thinking? The definitions of analogical thinking here. Okay, so I think this is for this video, and I have also one questions for you. So what is the two components in analogical reasoning? Okay, what are two components included in analogical reasoning? So please provide your answers on Google Sheet. Okay, I say the questions again. What are two components of analogical thinking? A and B. What is A? What is B? So please provide your answers here on Google document. And we are moving to the next videos.